Okay, so today we're going to go over a beginning classical guitar piece. It is called Andantino by Carcassi, and you can find this book in Classical for Guitar in tab. It's a great series. It's arranged by Jerry Snyder, and I will put a picture of the book right in the video somewhere around here. And as I play it, the tab will be right along the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now that we've listened to Andantino by Matteo Carcassi, let's dig into it. So first, let's just talk about a little bit of fundamental technique. So normally when we play classical guitar, we hold the guitar up like this, either with a strap or we put our knee up with a footstool, or we use some sort of device to hold this up. But just because I want a good camera angle, we're going to leave our guitar. I'm going to leave my guitar down like this, and you can as well, or you can maybe even put it on your left leg, and that'll be just fine. Okay, I'm going to put it on my right leg. Okay, so the second fundamental technique is we always put our thumb directly behind the neck as much as we can. Directly behind the neck so that it's sitting right in the middle of the neck. And then as far as the left hand goes, we always use the very tips of our fingers so that they're curled up, and we place them directly behind the fret. All right, and in the right hand, we call our thumb P, then it goes I, M, A. So P, I, M, A. Okay. And then the third fundamental technique is that we use our P finger for the lowest three strings, E, A, D, and then our fingers for the top three strings. I on G, M on B, A on E. Okay, so now that we know the fundamentals, let's get right into it. So the first chord is a C chord, and we actually don't even need to play the full C chord. So all we're going to do is we're going to place our first finger on B, first fret, and our second finger on D, second fret. And then we take our thumb and we place it on the D string, and we lay our I, M, and A fingers in their default position, which is I on G, M on B, and A on E. That is their default position. Okay, so then P and M at the same time, and then I. And we just play that 2 times. And that's the first measure. Next, in the left hand, we simply lift up our fingers so that we're playing open D, G, and B. And our right hand finger picking pattern is the exact same thing. P and M, and then I. Then in our left hand, we put our third finger on D, 3rd fret, and our pinky on B, 3rd fret. And we play the same picking pattern in our right hand. Then we place our first finger on B, 1st fret, and our second finger on D, 2nd fret. And we play the same picking pattern in our right hand. Now in our left hand, we're going to place our third finger on A on the 3rd fret. And in our right hand, we move our P finger or our thumb from the D string to the A string. And our fingers stay exactly where they are. I on G, M on B, A on E. Then we simply play P and A together, and then I, and then P and A together. Great, we just learned the first line. Now let's continue. Second line is going to be first finger on the 1st fret of E, and then in the right hand, our P finger moves from the A string to the D, and we play P and A together, and then play I, second half of the measure, we put in our left hand, we place our third finger on the 3rd fret of E, and the rest of the strings are just open. In our right hand, our thumb is going to play the E, and our P finger and our M finger are going to play at the same time, and then I, and then finally our first finger in the left hand on the B string 1st fret, and our third finger on the A string 3rd fret, P and M together. Okay, so that was the very first section of this piece. The second section breaks our rule of thumb for the right hand, pun intended. So basically, we're going to take our I, M, and A fingers, and we're just going to place our I finger on B and our M finger on E. Okay, and then our thumb is going to rest on the G string. Okay, so now let's look at the left hand. So with the left hand, we're going to place our first finger on the 1st fret of B. And now let's look at the right hand. In the right hand, we're just going to play fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb. And this pattern is going to continue. So now in the left hand, we place our first finger on the 1st fret of E and our third finger on the 3rd fret of B, and the right hand pattern continues. Fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb. Then in the left hand, we lift up our fingers and we place the second finger on the 2nd fret of B. Fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb. Then we go back to the same position. First finger on E, 1st fret. Third finger on B, 3rd fret. Fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb. Now in the left hand, we place our second finger on the 2nd fret of E and our first finger on the 1st fret of B. And and then in the right hand, it changes. Our thumb moves up to the D string, and we still play fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb. Next, we place our third finger on the third fret of E, and in the right hand, our thumb or our P finger is still on D, and we're still playing fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb. Then in our left hand, first finger on the first fret of B, second finger on the second fret of E, fingers, thumb, fingers, thumb. And lastly, we're going to place in our left hand are the third finger on the third fret of E, and we're simply going to play G, B, and E at the same time. All right, so we just completed Andantino by Matteo Carcassi. Those are all the sections of the song, and basically the first section, which begins, we're going to call that section A. Okay. Then the second section, we're going to call that section B. Okay, so the form of this song is A, B, A, A. Make sense? All right. Great job. I'll see you soon.